born with brain cancer and diagnosed at 6 months old. I went into brain surgery, then chemotherapy for a couple years because they didn't get all of the tumor during the surgery. And after the 2 years of chemo, they kind of figured they got all the cancer, and we moved kind of to like 3-month increments of checkups, which eventually turned to 6 months. And in kindergarten is when they noticed that I was significantly shorter than everyone else. It was a kind of a dispute to go on growth hormones. I had people in my life that didn't want me on them because, some kids are just short, and, it's her life, it's how it's supposed to happen. I had some people not knowing what to do, and then I had some people being very adamant that this is what we should do. You should put me on growth hormones. So I kind of went on and off them. I went on them young, and it was like my body was rejecting it in a sense. We weren't seeing any growth, really. It grew like 1 or 2 inches. And then all I remember is the bruising, the crying, and the pain. I don't remember anything else. I remember waking up in the middle of the night and just screaming in pain. And I don't know why. If it was supposed to help me, why does it hurt? So we got to the point where my body couldn't take it anymore. So we stopped it. And I got friends. I really was a part of elementary school. And then, as I got older, I wanted to do it again. And I honestly couldn't understand why we stopped at the time. I remembered the pain and stuff, but there was other issues going on that was causing it to be inconsistent. I wasn't getting them every day when I should have been as a kid. So I was like, well, I can do it now, and I'll make sure that I get the proper amount every day. So I learned how to fill the needle or fill the pen up, how to attach a needle, and how to inject it into my body. And I would almost bruise within an hour in my arms, my stomachs, my thighs. And I remember it always had to be refrigerated. There was a lot of times that I would go out in the middle of the night and just stand there in the kitchen light and just stab myself. And that's really all I remember with the medicine. It's just sitting in a kitchen, sitting in another kitchen, just stabbing myself every night. Try to do it 24 hours on the dot. And then I'd wake up and I'd be like stiff. And I'd have to go to school and act like nothing was wrong. Around 14-ish, my puberty was starting. There was no real stopping it. Once that happened, I was done growing. So they were hoping to put me on a puberty blocker. And I was on this, I don't even think 6 months, honestly. It doesn't feel like I was taking that long. But I didn't start my period until I was 16, so maybe it was 2 years. But maybe that's how fast my life just moved in my head. Every day, just stabbing myself and taking pills. But at 16, I forgot to take the pill one day. My period came the next. I took the pill again. My period disappeared. But it didn't stop the fact that the puberty had started. So I finished all the meds I could. I took all the shots I could. And I got stuck at 3 for 10. It was like, it's a sucky situation. It sucks, but I'm not mad about it. I'm just mad about how much I had to go through. Because physically, that's fine, I can deal with that. That's something I had to go through. But emotionally, my peers, society could have made my life a lot easier. And instead, they shunned me. Like I was a disease that was going to kill them off. I remember guys telling me I'm so pretty, but they would never date someone like me. Because what would that say about them? And they weren't even thinking or look like a child. They were just thinking I'm different. I'm short. I'm not like these other girls that can kiss them standing on their toes. And shame on anyone who thinks like that. Because I'm a human being. And I'm beautiful. And I'm amazing. And honestly, if someone thinks like that and says something like that, shows you that they're truly ugly on the inside. Because no one that's beautiful and understands your worth would ever say anything like that. And that's why I'm very happy that I left Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh. I love the people there. I love the culture. But I feel like I would have gotten stuck. And I don't know if I wanted to get stuck with those people from high school. No offense to any of them. I hope they all changed, but if they didn't, I didn't want to take that chance. Didn't want to risk it. My mental health grew so much in the time I was away from them. I didn't know what loving yourself was. I didn't know that you could see someone beautiful when you look in the mirror. Until I left Pittsburgh. And for me, that is more important than anything. And I don't want to crap on anyone from Pittsburgh or anyone I went to high school with. But you could have done better. We all could have done better by each other. We could have supported each other instead of hated on each other. And if you really just disliked me for who I was, why? Search inside yourself then. Because I think a lot of people just didn't like me because I had this confidence about me. I mean, yes, I was a little rude. Not gonna lie. I was loud, spunky, and aggressive. You did not want to screw with me. But that's what I had to do. I had to portray that personality so I wouldn't get picked up and dragged. So I wouldn't get shoved into a locker. So I wouldn't get made fun of by the girls. I did what I had to do to survive. And I still use those tactics every day in this world because the world isn't much different. Okay, y'all, so that's all of my perspective videos about my high school medical life. I know this one slightly touched on the emotional and societal. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope it helped you guys understand me and how I became the person I am today. I mean, overall, most of that was all 7-8 years ago, so I've changed a lot since then. I've grown maturity-wise, we've all grown. I think that's what high school and school is all about. It's teaching you to become a good person. And for me, it was a struggle, because it's hard to be good when all you see is bad. So I had to kind of leave the bad to find the good and to become good. And I mean, look at me now. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have an amazing day, and just love yourselves. Bye. It's Shauna Rae.